Welcome into today's episode of another Still Talking. We have got the one and only Karl Porter. He's known as a comedian. He's known for his very, very slow run that everyone's seen. He is a Liverpool fan from Manchester, which doesn't make sense. He is a legend. Welcome in, brother. Thank you for coming
Thank you very
down.
much for having me on, brother. Honestly, it's good.
Before I start where I've just left off, you're from Manchester and you support Liverpool.
Yeah.
Where are you actually from?
I'm originally from Cheetham Hill in Manchester. That's where I was born.
And where do you live now?
I live at the moment in Blackpool.
So how do you go from living in Cheetham Hill to supporting Liverpool?
If you knew my family. No, well, it's weird actually. It is a weird, because like if I'm doing my comedy in like Manchester, a lot of people are like, wait, but if I come to Liverpool, but I see people kind of looking at me like, why is he in Liverpool? Because obviously I go to quite a few Liverpool games and that, and they're just like, he's a man, Kim. But it's a weird one. Like all three of my brothers are Man United fans, and for some reason I just kind of got into football a tad bit later, maybe like 1999, 2000, when I was about 7, 8.
I wasn't even born then. Sorry.
Hold it, we're in our 30s.
I was born 02, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You know, time changes. So you've got United and City on your door, yet you choose their rival.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? But it's great for Liverpool, you know, United matches when it's...
Is there a deeper meaning there because of your brothers who supported the City and United? Why? I need to make sense of it.
Yeah, no. I think a lot of people, if they do, obviously ask the question and find out, it's a bit myth, innit? But I just kind of started watching football when I was like 7, 8, and I just remember just seeing Gerrard play football.
So you got hooked on
And
Gerrard.
it was just Gerrard made me fall in love with like football and Liverpool pretty much. You know, just him.
There's got to be so many City and United fans like, yeah, you're not allowed back to Manchester.
Oh, yeah. Like after this, anyway, they'll see.
Yeah.
They'll see me. And it's like, you go to Liverpool comedy clubs, and that is it, mate. You don't step foot on ours
You're
again.
not getting in. Okay, so bring it to the more relevant times of Man City, Man United, Liverpool. The league's done. Liverpool have won it. Let's be honest.
Mathematically, no. But I mean, you know, after last night, 13 points.
Exactly.
Clear.
The league's done, in my opinion. Liverpool
it should
have
be.
won
Yeah.
it. Who's better, Arne Slot or Jurgen Klopp?
I'd say Jurgen, because he built this this team. Arne Slot has taken over, has come from Klopp. Like, I mean, you look at the team he had in 2015, like Barini up front, you know, Ricky Lambert.
I just had to put it on your toes.
Yeah, no.
Because Arne Slot's achieved so much in, you know,
his
coming,
first year, yeah.
And then you look at Jurgen and you compare them both. Is it too soon to compare them both?
I think so. Even if he wins the league, and say like if he magically, like if it ended up happening, we won the treble, I'd still look at Klopp because he basically built it from nothing.
I know when you look at Slot, he's kind of came into it. Like it's like someone working their ass off for 30 years.
Yeah.
Or like 10 years, let's say, and they've built this boss house, and then you just come in and buy it.
Yeah. It's weird as well because he's bought one player who's rarely played, and but I do feel like you've got to take into consideration him coaching this team and players and bringing his own sort of style, and he's just managed the team so well. We've been fortunate with like no injuries, big ones to like,
especially
Serge, Mo.
Everyone's got injuries at the minute because of the games.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to bring it all the way back to Manchester. I want to
Okay.
go down the M57 onto the M62 and go straight back to Manchester. Manchester City. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you was a bin man for Man City.
Yeah, I was for 6 years.
So, you're born in Manchester, you support Liverpool, and then you go back down the M57 onto the M62 and work for Manchester City as a bin man.
The core of my life.
You just follow the money, you like. Nah, money joking. Explain to me how that comes along. How'd you become?
Well, obviously, I'd just finished uni at the time in like 2015, and obviously I needed a job because obviously like, I studied like, you know, the subject I did, it wasn't like I was going to get a job from it straight away. So I kind of ended up working for like an agency, what worked at Man City for match days. And because I just kind of enjoyed it really, because it was like in the core of football, even though like some jobs were like, you know, rough and, you know what I mean, like work through the night.
Yeah.
It was just meant to just sit and watch football, be in like the atmosphere of it 24/7.
So it was half chills.
I felt like I got decent like job when I got there. So I rocked up in a suit thinking like, yeah, I'm going to be, honestly, a muppet I was. I rocked up like, went into this staff room and it was a battered staff room. Bare people just turned to me and looked at me like they're all like, you know, wearing
In
bin
the working
liners
gear.
and that. Do you know what I mean? They're just all ready to get on the terrace and pick up and litter and all that stuff. And I come in like, fucking tight, you know what I mean?
King of Man City, I've got this.
Honestly,
yeah.
and everyone looking at me going, you don't belong here. And then luckily the assistant manager of the company I worked for, he said, right, you're going to go and work in the suites. Like, so I worked in like the 5-star restaurants.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I got it like very, very lucky. And it honestly, once the game starts, you do your rounds. I smashed it out in like 10 minutes.
So the key to it's basically like hospitality. The suites.
Hospitality, yeah.
So the key to it is do your rounds as quick as not as quick as you can, because obviously clubs will be watching this thinking the staff are just getting off on one. But do your rounds and then you can obviously
watch the game.
That's
it, yeah. And you just stand on the terrace like and blend in.
Secretly you are a City fan?
No. It is a weird predicament though, isn't
it? Why was you doing your rounds so quick to watch City, Karl?
No, I just think it was the case of like just watching football. Like I do genuinely like watching and keeping up to date with like even all the European leagues, the lower leagues in football. I just like love football, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we talk about that time in your life. Take me back to the time where you found out you were funny.
It's a weird one, isn't it? It's like, it's even saying that really, isn't it?
You won't say it about yourself, but people who watch you and admire you and follow you in your community find you so funny. I find you funny. I think you're hilarious. I just want to know when that time was you was like, oh shit, that'll make you laugh. Oh my God. Give me some sweets and I'll make you laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait there. I'm going to start selling venues and I'm going to start selling seats and oh my God, I'm going to create content and make other people laugh. Yeah. When was that moment of...
It's a weird one with comedy because you can be around your mates and make them laugh and you might be that guy who just makes people laugh, but getting on stage and actually writing something and putting it across to the audience and making them leave like kind of laughing, going, oh, sick that, because people, when they come up to you, there's no better feeling than someone going, yeah, it was sick that, mate, fucking loved it, well done, mate, smash it and stuff. But it was maybe like, I remember I chose not to do drama in school, which everyone to this day is like, why didn't you choose it? I just chose to do what my mates did. Business studies, got like an F in it, not good at all. I think I did resistant materials. Again, it was just all lads. You just chilling with your mates.
You do not strike me as a business studies guy.
Oh, useless, mate, honestly.
You're creative.
Yeah, I'm not, literally. I remember sitting in there on the computer just going,
what am I doing here?
I can't even spell my name. Like, just like, everyone's just like...
Everyone's talking about money.
Yeah, everyone's just talking about like settlements and all this. And I'm just like, check this, mate. This joke's mint.
So class laugh.
So I ended up after school, went to college, I did acting and I was shitting it because I was just like, didn't know anyone. But then after that, I kind of just used to improvise anything I used to be involved in the class. They'd say, get up and do this. So I just get up, be myself, literally. Because I think with me on stage, I'm just the same in person. Like I'm not this kind of persona of, he's a comic and then he comes out of his shell or whatever. I'm just like a bit of a mad guy in the sense of like just being a dick in front of people. Like, you know what I mean? Just try and make them laugh. And then I think like end of college, someone said, oh, there's a comedy course at Salford Uni. And I was like, oh, okay, what, I'm going to pay to be funny? Do you know what I mean? And then they said, nah, you should go for it. So I went for that. And again, I think I love to like act and stuff. So comedy wasn't firstly the thing I wanted to get into straight away, but developing and then obviously doing this course afterwards, like the Frog and Bucket, for example, that was the first gig I did. And it was like a beat the gong. You've got to like last 5 minutes without getting booed off basically to win the competition. And I did a set on Coronation Street where I was doing like different type of kisses in Corrie, you know, like when people laugh and they go, they're doing soaps and then it goes to adverts.
Is that real?
Yeah. And then it goes, and you're like, oh, Jesus
Are you
Christ.
actually kissing a person?
Yeah, I'm not just kissing my hand. Oh, no, what, on stage? No, kissing my hand.
Wait there. So, wait there, you in person, the kissing on stage,
on soaps, yeah.
But you haven't actually been on Corrie to kiss anyone?
No, I've never been on Corrie.
You told that story so well that my head was like, what? You were on Corrie kissing someone?
I mean, I won't mind going on it. It's sick, wasn't it?
So, okay, okay, now I get it. So you were kissing your hand and you're on stage and you're impersonating.
Yeah. So I did that in like one of the lessons, and one of our my teacher at the time, Kiri Pritchard, she's like big in comedy, like she's like smashed it, to be fair. And she was like, I think you're ready for your first comedy night. And I was like, yeah, when? She went, tonight. I can book you in. And all the class, bless them, they were like, yeah, we'll come down and support you. And I was just like, oh,
yeah,
God.
I do not want to do this.
No, and I went there, won that competition that night.
You smashed it out the park. Your first ever comedy
Literally,
gig.
First one.
How old was you then?
Was it 2014? So this was when I was in uni still, so I would have been 2021.
So you were my age?
Yeah.
I'm 22, so you were, wow. So you went down to your first ever game and smashed it.
Just, yeah.
Did you, let's go back a little bit and talk to me of the feelings you were having coming up to that, because there'll be loads of comics who watch this and be like, you know, I'm in that situation right now. I haven't took the jump. I haven't done this. Talk to me the feelings you were going through. Did you believe in yourself like you were going to smash it, or was you absolutely bombing it?
No, I was like shitting it. Do you know what I mean? Because you're getting on stage in front of people, and you know, I mentioned before, like if you're in front of your mates and you're comfortable saying anything, people laugh. You're like, wait. But getting on stage and actually writing something what needs to hit to an actual audience who are paid money to watch you, and there's loads of people. Do you know what I mean? Like I've done gong shows where I've been booed off and called the C word and stuff.
Really?
Know? Yeah. This was like after this night. So I realised what comedy was. So
okay, so it weren't all sunflowers and
no.
rainbows.
It started off like that, and I was like, I'm sick, mate.
This all day.
Yeah, I said, smash it, mate.
You know what I mean? I'm doing venues next.
And that was it. And I think you just got to take that like leap of faith of just go for it. You'll never know. It's one of them. I felt like if I never did that gig, I might have not been where I am now.
How long have you been doing stand-up for?
Well, it's a weird one. So I did a few gigs whilst I was at uni, and then I stopped in 2015. So I wasn't on the scene. And then I think 2017, I did about 8 gigs that year, stopped again. And then in 2019, summer, I basically started to take it seriously.
Why did you stop? Why was the inconsistent?
I think because I was like kind of reality. I was coming out of uni. You know, I needed to be realistic of like, I needed to get a job. I needed to get
money.
Like, keep a roof over my head, money. You know what I mean? Like sustain myself of like being secure financially. And then I always said to myself, regardless, I said, comedy's going nowhere. I am going to jump on it. And then once I got a job at the Etihad at the time, as the binman, I love them yellow bins. That's when I kind of was like, right, I'm going to just start doing it now because I've got the evenings to do it. And then
there's one thing you said there about, what did you just say about, it just sparked in my brain of comedy's not moving anywhere. I'll jump on it when I can.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a cool saying.
Oh, okay.
Because you believe in yourself to jump on it any time and be successful. But I feel like a lot of people feel like sometimes what they're wanting to achieve in life is moving away from them.
Yeah.
But you thought comedy was never moving away from you. You just thought, whatever time I start at, I'll be able to kill it. Or I'll be able to at least put me 100% in.
I think so, because it's obviously with comedy and stuff, like you don't have to be like, you know, like footballer, you don't have to be like 9-10 years old to like start from, do you know what I mean? Like
academy since 6.
Yeah. Academy comedy courses and that like that. Like, yeah, right. It's like,
it might be the future though.
It could be.
Jamie Hutchinson taking a class of 28 to 12-year-olds and they all want to become comics.
He's there with a beer going, you've been to the barbers. Have you been to the barbers, little man? Yeah. No.
Impressions, do a Jamie Hutchinson one, go on.
You'll kill me for this. I'll get ripped when I see it. Obviously, like I know Jamie from Manchester.
Yeah, we love him. That's why we want you to do an impression of him.
I just remember obviously he talks about you know, his airline and stuff, and he's talking about, he goes, 2 things I've got in common with EasyJet. He goes, orange, shit airline. And then he just leans into the audience and he's like, you've been to the barbers. I've been to the barbers. And the guy's like, that.
Do you know what I love about Jamie? The way anywhere he is, he's like it's I don't know if it's just like, is it a slouch or like he's just so comfy.
Yeah, he's just relaxed in any environment. Yeah.
He's just like, there's 300 people in front of me and I'm doing a live show. But
and he's got a beer and he's just kind of going, oh, are we all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? He's just not like, he's just like, yes.
And he's feeling the room.
But I love that though. Do you know what I mean? You've got a...
That's how you know he's a natural and he's
him. And he's been, you know, doing it for like a long time and he's just kind of natural to that, where he can just ease himself. It doesn't matter how many people he's in front of, he'll get on. He's just like, another day, another dollar in it.
Yeah, when I had him on the couch, he was fantastic. Okay, so what... we were talking about the comic and we were talking about the whole career and how long you've been doing it.
Oh, yeah.
From the start of it to now, who's been there? It's your girlfriend, innit? Your girlfriend before you blew up.
Yeah, wife now.
Now wife, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
I did have it down to mention and say congratulations.
Yeah.
She was there before it kind of took off to now.
Yeah, she was there. So we got together in 2020 during COVID, where pubs shut at 9 and we get the train home. And say, I'll be in bed before midnight. Because obviously she lived in Blackpool, I lived in Manchester at the time, working at the Etihad and whatnot.
So you had to like wave goodbye.
Yeah, on the train and stuff like that. It's still daylight. She's like that. I'm like...
no.
Oh, but yeah, no, she was there. Like I was doing comedy for about 6 months, 8 months before I met my, obviously, wife now. And yeah, she came to a few gigs and I died on my ass. I did one in Bootle, actually.
In front of her?
Yeah. Like
Because of her?
it was all her fault, Ryan. I'm telling you. No, it was me thinking I was sick. And for some reason, I remember doing a gig in Bootle. I was with her for like 5 weeks.
In Bootle?
In Bootle, yeah, in Liverpool. It was like a back end boozer.
Yeah.
Right. And it was just a pub full of bald men. And I said, come to this gig, like, as if it was all the glam and glitz and all that. You know, it wasn't a proper comedy club. And she sat on the front row, and I'll never forget it. I had 15 minutes, and it was my first 15-minute slot at the time. I'd never kind of done that long of a set.
You shouldn't have brought it till a few years later.
No. That was the worst thing. And then she was sat at the front, and I remember, bless her, she just went, I'm just going to record you, and then you can watch it back. I was like,
have you got that recorded?
She's got it on her phone somewhere, yeah.
Is it uploaded?
Jesus, no. So this is the point. So 15 minutes, right? I lasted about 7 minutes because I was absolutely dying on my ass. And she said, and when you watch the video, I'll send it over if you know what I mean. The phone's here, and minute by minute she's going.
Slowly
just going like that. And I'm not acknowledging it because I'm just thinking, yeah, this is mint this. And then after I come off stage, I was like, right, we need to get this train home now.
COVID.
Yeah, that's the thing with comedy as well. Like,
see you later.
Like 15 minutes can think, oh, easy that. And if you're dying on your ass, you look like you literally go, I've been going 3 minutes.
Oh, I actually want to test myself one day and try and do 5 minutes.
You should do like one of the gong shows at Hot Water. No, like a new material night.
Is that what they do?
Like on a Monday, I think.
Invite new comics and.
I think if you email them to say if I can get on this Monday, you can do like 5 minutes, and it's just new comics turning up.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I get butterflies just thinking of being up on stage. Like, these people are looking at me to laugh. Like, it's such a skill to make someone laugh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of them where, again, like, go back to Jamie. He's probably just on stage being himself, and he's just not acknowledging how funny he is sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I'll never get off stage and go like myself and go, I'm sick, mate. Do you know what I mean? I just like.
You're always looking on areas to improve.
Yeah, I reckon so. And then like even bits where I can watch back and go, right, that bit needs tweaking, or I can just take that out. But like, you know, the footy stuff, for example, I feel like that hits a lot of people, like an audience.
It's a universal topic.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world knows soccer or football or whatever they call it. It's universal. So we can hit so many eyes. I wanted to just go back to the I love this fucking podcast, by the way.
No, it's class. I'm buzzing.
Just talk and just like.
I'll talk all day, me, and then she'll text me going, where are you? And I'll just go, I'm with Ryan.
Still talking,
we're chilling.
For 8 hours.
Well, it's Saturday. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, well, yeah.
2 days.
You were filming today and it's now Friday.
Yeah, it's like, where are you? I'm like, I love you, you know.
So, about the live shows, do you know when audiences come to watch a comedian?
Yeah.
Or a comic or whatever you want to name it? There's the extra pressure because they've, not on you more, but like as a member, you're paying to go and laugh. So your expectations are even higher. It's different to me scrolling, just going, oh, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect it. Is there that expectation there? You're like, oh my God, these have paid money.
Well, that's it, yeah.
To watch me and make them laugh.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if people are paying like 20, 25 quid a pop to come to like a, Saturday night at Hot Water or Saturday Night Frog and Bucket, like they're the two kind of comedy clubs I've kind of, gone back and forth with in terms of like my career so far, if you like, wanting to do those sort of clubs because it's big rooms and like people are just there for a laugh. More so, I guess I'm more nervous to smash it just for the sake of them booking me again, like Hot Water or the Frog.
So there's pressure. That's the pressure of self-employment, that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's the same for anyone who's me as a creator. You feel like, even if you got the biggest brand deal or you got the biggest gig of your life, you're like, I need another 10.
No, 100%.
I don't know if it's going to...
Because you never know that could be it, do you know what I mean? So, but with an audience, so you are turning up and just give it your bet. Like, if you get booked for 20, do your best 20. What's landed over the time of you building up to wanting to get to these spots, at comedy clubs, regardless. Say like if I did a full weekend at the Frog and Bucket, you do Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, I'll do the same 20.
Really?
Yeah, just because...
You know it's working?
I know it's working, and audience afterwards will go, oh, it's good that. Like, it's your strong 20, what you feel. And
then obviously you've done the same 20 there. Talk to me about making new material. How does that work for a comic?
So you just go to, there's nights of like Manchester, Liverpool. I'd probably say more so Manchester because they've got a comedy night out what runs 7 days a week. So you can turn up and like, even though it's an audience who probably haven't seen you, so you sat there thinking, oh, do you want me to do my best stuff so I can give them a good time? But at the same time, it's like, this is my career, and if I want to develop in the sense of like wanting to tour, do like an hour show, you just got to go to those nights and have, like not the balls, but you just got to kind of just do like new stuff just to test it and see if it works.
Are you ever worried you might give that audience the wrong impression of you, even though it's new stuff? Like you might flop and then you've got like however many people in the room that don't like Karl anymore.
I'll just say, just check my Instagram after, even if I bomb.
Do you always plug it?
Not. A lot of people always say plug your stuff, but I probably should do it more. After like if I've done a 20-minute spot at Hot Water or something, I'll say, oh, if you do want to, like at the moment I am looking to do a tour at the end of the year. So if that comes about, then it's obviously a good way to promote.
I think facial recognition goes a long way though.
Yeah.
You've got a recognisable face, and obviously millions of people around the world have seen it. So
well, that's it, yeah.
I think when it comes to that tour, which have you spoke about?
Yeah, obviously like, my agency, a few people, obviously like, it's kind of like the, early stages of
Take me through the ins and outs of how to do a tour, like, and also specials. I know a lot of comics love specials.
Oh, like an hour on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
An hour on YouTube or Netflix if it gets bought by them. Like,
yeah,
it's really, there's loads of potential. Take me through the tour. Like, how does that because what I'm wanting to learn is like everyone who sits on that couch, I like learning something new. And the one thing I don't understand is how comics go through that. I'm gonna book a tour. How do you even decide to do that? Is it you have 6 good nights and then you're like, let's do it?
Obviously, I'm lucky in the sense I've got an agent. So obviously I can go back and forth saying in myself, I'm ready for an hour tour now. Like,
you've got enough material for an hour?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is it an hour straight or split up in like...
No, I'd probably just do the full hour. So like sometimes our tours work, not like all of them, but you'll get a comic with you to kind of open
so like
the show.
Paul's got, I forgot his name.
He's got a few on it, like Danny McLaughlin and
then he's got the baldy
Callum
guy.
Oakley. Rob Thomas. Yeah, he's got quite a few where all solid acts who could come out.
And they will come on before and warm the crowd up kind of vibe.
Yeah, so I think Paul comes out, obviously says hello. How the show's going to work is I'll get my support act on. They'll do 20, little interval, and then he'll come back on and do the full hour.
Have you got someone in mind for you for the support
Yeah,
act?
one of my good mates, Ben Silver, who's a comic, and he's like, obviously that a very, very good friend, and yeah, he's a sick comic, so it would be sick just going around the country.
And is that one of your main goals, to just make sure you complete a tour and you smash it out? And
yeah, that's the goal. I feel
like every comic's got that goal.
A tour would be like if I could sell out like the Frog and Bucket or Hot Water.
Didn't Jamie just do one?
Yeah, Jamie like did a record or something at Hot Water, Frog and Bucket.
Jamie,
he did like 8 nights.
Smashed it.
Yeah. I think he kept on adding to his tour because he's built his audience now.
That's what it is. It's about building the audience. Social media helps that. And
100%,
then you sell a tour. Okay, just so I get the dates right, I want to go to social media. It says here, 2 years ago on March 12th, 2023, you posted and got 36 likes. Now, look, we don't focus on numbers, but on March 17th, which is 4 days later, you posted a slow motion goal celebration and it got 300,000 views and 10k likes.
Is that a Hot Water?
I've just got the stats here.
I think it was that was when I was in the process of developing this gimmick thing of the slow motion, because obviously like probably been doing it coming up 2 years now, and I think that was the first time I kind of posted it, and I never really posted on Instagram before that. Like I said, the other one was 36 likes or something. That was where
it's that gap.
Yeah, it was like I think that video also got what it got after the main video
again,
because people go back and if one video's circulating, they'll go through the profile.
Because that's what I want to get onto too, the longevity of how it's spread out and done so well. And there's been not spin-offs, but you've done it again, and then you've been on other shows, you've been on Sky, you've been on these news things and you've done it, and then people have always wanted to go back to the original.
Yeah,
did you ever think when you were doing this, did you call it a gimmick?
I won't say I don't know really. I think it was just
this part of your show. Yeah,
it was just like it's different from standing there telling a joke, because I'm a physical comedian. All my jokes come from my body, which sounds a bit weird. Do you know what I mean?
Whoa.
I don't know if that sounded weird or not, but
I love that sounds. Whoa.
No, I'll say like if I'm talking about the gym, I'll say like, have you ever seen that guy make a noise every time he deadlifts, and then I'll act it out, so people will watch it and then go like, you know what I mean?
So they can relate to it because
yeah. Because if I just say it, then they're like, what do you mean? So that's when I'm like, I'll show you, and then I'm like,
that's so good though, because you've times two things you're really good at. The impersonation and the telling the joke.
Well, that's it, yeah. It's kind of like telling him and then saying, I'll show you.
Anyone else in the comedian scene does anything like that?
I don't know actually, because loads of people have been dead, obviously complimentary and saying like you've got something what is not really happening anywhere else, like not anywhere else in the world or whatever. But I don't think there's a comics like that, like myself, which I kind of feel lucky in a way because it's kind of like my own unique style, I guess.
Did you get inspiration from anywhere to get that certain part of your show, or?
Well, obviously my comedy hero is Lee Evans. And you know, if you know him, he's the most physical comedian you can watch in terms of what he does on a stage.
I don't watch his stuff, but I know who he is.
Yeah, like he'll just like give you a show for 2 hours of running around the stage and just showing you.
I think I've seen clips of him sweating.
Yeah, he sweats like 12 litres of sweat a night. I read this like thing about him where the dry cleaners don't take his suits or anything.
That's what I'm saying. He sweats that much because he's that like on the go.
Yeah. He's just non-stop. So I watched him growing up from an early age and I was just like mesmerised by this guy. And then with the football thing, it was like I'd watch football when I was a kid and like just kind of mimicking the celebrations. Like I'll be in my room or something watching TV, mum will come in with my washing and she's like, Muppet, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just there like going, like sliding on my knees, like top off and everything.
You
know
should have put him back on the shelf when we got him. Like,
yeah.
Bloody hell.
But you know what I mean? I'll just be like, literally just letting me house going. Like me when we walk in and go, it's 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. What are you doing? Yeah. And I'm just like, what? Cup final goal in it. And then it kind of come from that. And then obviously working in Etihad, loads of my material. Like I've got like, I normally end my set on 10, 15 minutes of talking about football, of like, you know, the Binman stuff, like Gary Neville, orgasm noise or whatever, or Spanish commentary or and then that slow motion thing where I was like, I think I just say to the audience, like, I do a goal celebration in slow motion. Do you want to see it? And I think they're a bit like, okay, go on then.
Fucking hell.
All right, let's do this then. And then so I do it and it's always got like a, you know, like really like cool reaction and that.
A good response.
Yeah.
It's so interesting listening because I'm mesmerised by everyone's story who sits opposite me when they talk about it. The simplicity of you doing a goal celebration and how much it's elevated your career.
Yeah.
And, you know, made you take that leap. I want to dive into the more emotional side right now and talk about, like, I mentioned it before, there's so many people who won't be a comic. They might be a comic. They might want to be a comic. They might be a creator. They might be something in life that was like at the stage you were at where you're working full time for someone else, but you're working on your stuff. Yeah. And they just need that little thing that'll change them. Explain to me and everyone that will be watching, like, where did you find that like gut to, one, post yourself online? Yeah. And absolutely, you know, and two, like, you had a partner at the time. Yeah. You know, you were balancing different responsibilities.
That's it, I guess, yeah.
How old was you in 2020?
I would have been 27.
At that time in life, a lot of people haven't got the time to take that chance and leap. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of adults watching this who'll be like, man, I'd love to go and do what I love. Talk to me on that.
I think age, for me, I've never seen an age being a problem. I guess you can, if you wanted to do it, it is kind of up to you. If you want to go out and do something, you will find the time to do it. And if you've got the right people around you, because like my wife's like number one supporter, like even when like I was coming on air, she was like buzzing for can't wait to hear it. Like, honestly, I'll get back tonight and she'll sit down and have a brew when I get back and she'll just be like, oh, what happened? Oh,
awesome, she'll watch it.
Yeah, and like,
she best out, because if she doesn't, I'll be in this comment section.
I love you. But yeah, no, I feel like if you've got the right support around you, like it'll give you that more belief where you think, and I guess not in like a cringe way, but I felt like I was put on this planet to do some sort of form of comedy.
That's not cringy at all.
Do you know what I mean though? Like, because people, like my older brothers will go, Muppet lad, wait until I see him, like, you know, taking the mick or whatever. But I always said to myself, like, I've worked like tons of jobs since I left school and college and university and stuff, but my goal was always like something in the form of like performance, like comedy or acting or something like physical wise, doing, you know, jokes and stuff. So I just felt like I mentioned before, like I'll put it on the shelf for now, but I'd definitely go back to it. And I just got that chance, I guess, where I worked for about 3-4 years doing actual stand up. And then obviously I got that break of doing, obviously, you know, online, because it is a bit, you know, thingy in it.
It is different, yeah. Talk to me of the feeling you had when you seen the first video go boom, and your career was like, or maybe more comedy shows were like, or clubs were like, come and do a set, or come and do that here, or we'll pay you this to do that. What was that feeling like?
What, after put the slow-mo video out?
Slow-mo, because surely you must have been just plodding along,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
is building, and then that slow-mo videos went out, went boom. Everyone's like, Carl.
Yeah. It was. I'd never been on my phone so much. Like, but just putting.
We need to check the screen time.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I won't even speak to her.
day.
Do you know what I mean? I'll just go in. Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, fuck off.
Carl, you haven't had your tea. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll stop.
Yeah. And then come back the next day. She's like, I told you yesterday.
Yeah.
No.
Social media can be addictive like that.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah. Especially when if something happens like that. But the video really sells the slow motion, because I think you don't see my legs in the video, because I think I couldn't have got a better video.
Well, you said that outside when we were doing our video.
Yeah. Like, it was, when people watch it, the illusion is like, when you think about it, it's like, oh, where's his legs?
It's just
Which is weird to say, innit? Because it is my torso, and the cameras in that comedy club in London, it was at Up the Creek. And that was a comedy competition as well. I was actually...
Did you win it?
I won it that night, yeah.
Yeah, you best
Prosecco and that got smashed. I took that home with her. But yeah, it was a kind of like, the video was so perfectly edited off my editor, Phil. Just the angles of it all, it just fitted right. So yeah, I think I put it on like a Monday morning. I was at work. I was sat in the security box where I worked at the time. And I remember as well, about a month before, my mate Phil and Ben, they said, I reckon you should start putting your content up just to show your style.
100%.
And ironically enough, the first video I put up like properly was the slow motion. And yeah, I put it on, and I remember being at work. I put it on about 11:15. You look at times, don't you, where it's going to be good in algorithms or whatever.
11 in the morning.
Yeah. It was on a Monday.
Time, because everyone gets on the lunch break.
That's what I mean, yeah. So I put it on then, and then I was in work till 3 that day. And I remember at the end of the night, when I got in bed, it was on 300k. I think it was on 300k or something. I was just like buzzing with that. You know what I mean? And then I woke up the next morning, and she was like going, Karl. I was like, what? She was like, it's on 1 million. I was like, show me. And it just,
Bro.
yeah. I think that day it got like 30 million. And the next day, Wednesday, funny enough, I finished work on the Thursday for 2 weeks, because me and her like just booked a couple of weeks off, which was great, because from the Wednesday, I was just getting, honestly, calls, emails, going on like BBC Northwest, TalkSport, ESPN.
God.
I was on all like I remember the first thing I saw where I thought, what the actual is going on? It was Sports Bible, and it was a picture, split kind of like book of Mbappe and me. Like, and it just...
The new FIFA cover?
Yeah, and I remember screenshotting it going, I'll edit this into a FIFA cover or something at the time, but...
Oh my...
It basically said, comedian does impression of a slow motion celebration, and I think from then I was just like, whoa, this is mad. And then I started leaving work early every day, because I was like...
I need to go and do content.
Content, and people want to interview me, and you know what I mean? I'm getting asked to go to this place, that place. So... And then I think the following Sunday, where it really hit, we was at a festival. It was in Burnley, it's where folks live. So all mum, dad, me and missus went out. And honestly, it was like a parade kind of style. Like, all the roads were shut. It was just like all people walking about. And that was the first time where every single person was stopping me, going, you're that guy. Can I get a picture?
Can you do it?
Yeah. And I was just laughing more than anything with my missus, just going, what is going on?
Oh my.
Yeah,
life
literally.
changing.
Yeah, and it was just anywhere I go in a pub, and it's just like, yeah, what do you want, lad? Nah, don't worry about like. And I was just like,
yeah, I'll have fab.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm with family. Yeah, and they're just like, got you all night, mate. And it was just, from then I was just like, whoa, this is like, this is done well.
What is going on?
Yeah, literally, it was just a case of trying to like just
fathom it.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just like,
I've never said that word in my life, and I've just said it. Fathom.
You said the right word, to be fair, because I would have
Was
struggled
that the right
more and more.
word?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
fathom it.
Yeah.
I messaged you about the brief and what I was building, and you were like, ask this and this, and we've been through it all, but I've got one question about, like, who have you actually met off the back of it? Who have you talked to? Have you had weird conversations with people? Has anyone messaged you from the goal celebrations you've done? Like, or the slow-mos, like, I
feel like I've been fortunate to meet certain people, because like, so I went to the EAFC launch night, which was like not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
And I basically got asked to come on stage in front of the people and do the celebration.
And who are the people?
Who was
in the crowd? Anyone we know?
So there was just content creators and stuff. There were a few sidemen there. But then upstairs, where I was actually allowed to go, the VIP, Thierry Henry, Ian Wright.
Dropping names like that, don't worry about it.
Rio Ferdinand were there.
Did you get to speak to any of them?
Nah, but obviously Henry's like, you know what I mean, arguably the great, you know, says it. I think everyone says he's the greatest player in the Premier
You
League.
need to chill out a little bit though. You're from Manchester, support Liverpool, and you love Henry.
No, come on, if you met Henry, like I remember, you know what the funny thing is though, he was getting ready to go because he left early. So Henry, like, you know what I mean, and he had people with him, and as he like walked off, I just remember going, Thierry, and he turned and I went, oh, can I get a picture? And he went, of course, not a problem. So like, I got a picture like that, and then, but that I found out 2 Liverpool players were meant to be there that night, but we were in Europa League because it was a Thursday.
They never turned up.
And I found out who the 2 were, and I was like,
who's it meant to be?
Diogo Jota and Big Verge.
Jota makes sense because he's
It's FIFA, yeah.
FIFA, and then Big Verge, he's the cover.
He's just mammoth of the man, isn't he?
Surely that's reached people that, you know, you probably watched on the telly or looked up to. Like, has anyone ever DM'd you?
I had a weird story actually. I found out he was following me just through socials, and then
Who?
Jorginho for Arsenal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Chelsea Jorginho who moved to Arsenal.
Yeah. So he followed me, and then this was October 2023, and I had a couple of shows coming up in London at the time, and I just messaged him saying, oh mate, thanks for the follow, like class, like, you know, and he messaged, I forgot what he said, but he was like, you know, funny guy, let me know when you're in London. So I sent him like my link, obviously not thinking much of it. I just went, yeah, come to my show. 5 minutes later, sent me a receipt saying, see you there.
Did he come?
I don't know if he did or not because I didn't see him or whatever, but I don't know whether he slightly come in thinking...
Don't tell me you weren't looking for him.
I was looking for Jesus Christ. I was in the crowd doing my stuff going, Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like going...
and you never seen him?
I didn't see him, no. But I've got it there on the message, but whether he came or not, I don't know.
Jorginho?
Yeah, Jorginho, let me know if you come, and I mean, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably just message saying cheers for coming 15 months
ago.
ago.
Come another one?
Yeah.
Let us know, you know.
Yeah.
Like, even if you bought the tickets, he still bought them.
That's it. He paid money to see...
Or he paid money to see nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was under that much pressure because you messaged him.
Yeah. He's probably just like, sat with his wife going, I need to buy tickets now, eh? And it's just like, yeah.
Maybe that should be, because you've told the story now, I don't know if you've ever told it before, you should reenact like him like on his couch like, this fucking
Hey, what about Karl Porter?
Yeah, this
his wife's just going, what
messaged
you on
me,
about?
and his wife's like,
yeah.
buy tickets quick, just get them off.
And then he's bought them, and then he's probably in training, like passing the ball, and he's going, oh, Karl's show is starting, eh?
Yeah.
I'd message him saying it was great, huh? So carry on playing football.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, see you later, Karl. This question is such a changing topic, but it's such, I actually like, on my way down today, I thought of it, and I was like, this is so like, I really want to know the answer, and I'm just building it up here to be anti-climax. So, your life's in a very much different situation right now from when you started your career. Is it easier to be well known in comedy and go out and supply a crowd with laughter, or is it easier to be no one and go out and supply a crowd with laughter?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Easier to be known or not known on stage?
Yeah, it is, because you don't have that
pressure.
Not like pressure. Yeah, pressure, like, but because obviously I've, you know, after gigs and stuff, people will be like, obviously they know me from, you know, the football thing. But the pressure of going on stage and keeping it up, if you like, of anything you do, it needs to hit an audience to be funny. Like with, obviously, I think I obviously can relate to both, because obviously, like before that, I was just getting up, going work, then going to like new material nights, you know, gong shows, and you don't really have any sort of pressure, if you like. You just
what is a gong show?
So a gong show is like, you know, they do it loads around the country. So 20 plus comedians turn up, and they've got a last 5 minutes on stage. 3 cards will get given out to the audience, like individual audience members. And if all 3 go up, that indicates that you're not good. You'll get gonged off. If you last 5 minutes, you'll hear like a bit of music.
So it's kind of like Kill Tony a little bit, where they do the minute and then they do the...
Yeah. Like, you know, like I said, I remember doing a comedy store, like just after I won that Frog and Bucket, and I thought, yeah, I'm sick, mate. I turned up to this comedy store and I went, I'll go on first, mate. Don't worry about it. And the guy's going, right, mate. And I was like, don't worry about it. Hold that, mate. I went on stage, got on stage, and I didn't really have stuff to do because I thought just new stuff. I went on and I went, so my girlfriend left me, and someone in the crowd went, good. And I was like, okay. And then I started to act out.
That must have just flopped your whole life.
I just went, I'll carry on. And then I started to act out, and my girlfriend left me. She was in a taxi getting the train, and I was running after her, and I was going, Karen. She waited for call Karen. I was just going, Karen. And I was on my knees, and you could hear a pin drop honestly, like no one laughing. And then I stood up and I went, so as I started to say whatever else, some guy went, "God, the gun is shit." And then everyone started booing. Proper like vicious booing. Yeah, going, "Boo," and everyone like put the cards up, and then I forgot what song it was, but a song came on where it was like, "I'm a loser, baby. Why don't you save me?" And then I went off stage and I had to sit in the audience the rest of the show.
Everyone just booed you.
Yeah.
And you had to sit next to
and
him.
then people just going, "Oh no, it's good that, mate." Like, you know, like it's like, no, it wasn't.
I seen a few of your clips. I've seen a few,
That's
and
it.
I've took an extra look. And you talk about life experiences, like about the girlfriend breaking up with you.
Yeah.
Are they relatable to you? Like, are they real life experiences, or do you make them up on the spot? Or
Majority of them are, I'd say. Like, obviously, if you see my content, like everything's through experience.
Exactly. So that leads me on to my next question. If you're constantly talking about experience, how do you balance to keep up living an experience and talking about them at the same time? Do you ever feel like you run out of them?
No, I don't think so, because I feel like I've got a lot of experience from like families, brothers, my girlfriend, working certain jobs, and even if I'm in an environment like if I'm at the gym, I'll see something, I'll just pop it down on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
my thought was like, do you ever struggle to live in the moment because you're so focused on talking about it on stage?
nah, because to be fair, I can go on stage and I have this nag of like doing the material I was going to do, but then if I can just go off topic and just start talking about something.
What happens with these briefs, end up going off topic.
No, I love that though. Like, you know, just start improvising and doing something, and then I'll literally go, "Oh, that was 10 minutes of just made up stuff."
I've got like,
yeah, and it's just like I've not even got to my footy stuff or you know, my wife's stuff. So, you know, I can balance it, I guess, where I'm not really fussed, even if it's not going well. I feel like comedy's that sort of area of work where you just got to be prepared for it to go good or bad.
When you go on stage, do you get the feeling like people are waiting for the goal celebration now? Does it?
Yeah, I think so. I've not done it in about a year.
You've not done the full-on celebration in a year?
No.
On stage? Because of that?
I don't think it's because of that, but I just don't want to be known as that one-trick pony kind of guy. I want him to know that I've actually... Because like if I do Karl and Friends shows, which I've got a couple coming up, I normally come on stage with It's a Beautiful Day by U2. And I'll basically do the celebration straight off the bat. And then people get wired in where they're like, "Oh, he's done it." But then in their heads, they're like, "Oh, it's an hour show of this. What's he got left?" Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of...
Oh, it's a bit heavy though, because there's two sides to it. There's like one of like, you'd rather be known for something than nothing.
Yeah.
And then two, it's like you don't want to be known as a one-trick pony, and you don't want to be we just did the celebration and that's all we're waiting for. And that will, you know, it's so hard to speak about because it's hard. It's like you've got to evolve in, you've got to...
I don't mind like chatting about it. I think like more or less if I'm on a train, because I've got a certain demographic of like people who recognise me, do you know what I mean? Like lads and that. And I'll be on a train at midnight after a gig, and if a guy comes over and goes, "Oh, you're that guy in it, can I get a picture?" I'm like, yeah, sound mate. But then some people are like, "Oh, you're that guy in it, go on, do it." Yeah, and I'm like, "Mate, it's midnight." Like,
got me one wife next to me.
Yeah, my wife's just like, luckily she don't come to gigs anymore, do you know what I mean? Because
why?
Well, to be fair, she's a singer.
At
night, so she'll obviously have her thing, but to be honest, we've seen each other's sets, you know what I mean?
That much, you like?
Yeah, because she's just like, yeah, I get it, you know, like, because I put a clip out Monday about me waiting 50 minutes at the altar because she had like this like Coldplay song that was like nearly 15 minutes long, and I'm just stood there like that going, is she here, or is she just gone? Do you know what I mean?
Got off.
And she's watching it going, "Were you waiting, was you?" I was like, "Well, yeah."
So you've seen each other perform that much, it's just kind of like, I don't kind of want to like...
I don't mind seeing, like, you know, sometimes if I'm off one night and she's gigging, I'll come, but she'll go, no, it's going to be crap. Like, and vice versa. I'm like, there's no point coming.
You mentioned Karl Porter and Friends. Did you say you've been on tour with it? Like, or you've been doing multiple shows, or like you've got tours, like shows coming up? Yeah,
I've got a few coming up. I think I've done about 10 last year.
How's that been?
No, it's great. I mean, you know, I bring about 3 friends who do like 10-minute sets, little small ones, and I come on in between and then end the show like...
It's kind of like a mini tour then? You like practicing?
A little bit. Yeah, no. I think that's the good thing about these shows. Like, you can practice being on stage for, you know, near enough. Like, I think I do about 45 minutes plus, and then I've got 3 mates doing 10-minute sets. But yeah, it's mint. Like, you literally get in a car.
That is a tour, no?
I wouldn't say it's a tour because it's not Karl Porter, like, and then a tour name. It's Karl Porter and Friends. So you are developing yourself as doing longer sets, but then you've got mates coming on one after the other kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a good chance to try new stuff as well as build what you want.
And you're with your mates, it's a laugh.
Oh,
it's like,
you're in green room, just like, you know what I mean? Just going, oh yeah, baby, oh my God. And then they come in and go, 5 minutes till set time, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you get over and go and do the set.
As one of your mates ever bombed and you're all laughing at them.
I'm going to, you know what? I've picked mates who I know we were like close mates and they're all good. I think like maybe, I can't really think who it was, but I don't know if, I don't want to like out someone now going like, because they'll be sat there going, God, it was me. But,
I don't want that.
But to be fair, I think there was one night where it was pretty tough for all of us.
The crowd was tough.
Yeah, I think so. Like, that's no excuse to say, oh, you just wasn't funny. But do you know what I mean? Like, you do go to some places where it just doesn't happen to you for that night or whatever. So
you build different fan bases because there's an online one and there's a audience one.
Yeah.
What's the difference between one? Like, do you feel more successful if you build your online one or more successful if you build? It's like, it's weird because you'll get 10k likes, but you get 300 people turn up at a show. Yeah,
it's weird actually. I mean, I've got a big fan base in Indonesia, believe it or not. Like, I'm not saying the numbers, but
do the selling.
Yeah. But like, through that celebration, like, because it went worldwide pretty much. Like, I was, you know, you mentioned I was on like New Zealand breakfast show, Canada,
Sky. Sky's massive.
And I had people messaging me, bare people from Indonesia, Brazil, Japan, saying come over and all this. So I feel like obviously when you find your audience, you know what I mean, you can kind of just keep posting.
Just go and do comedy shows in Indonesia.
I'll go Indonesia, me.
Would you ever go over and just put on your story like, I'm here, guys?
Probably, yeah. I reckon like people might be like, oh my God, like, but it'd be difficult because, you know, I can't go on and go, yeah, from Salford, innit, Manchester, because they'd be like, what?
And everyone's like,
do you know what I mean?
What are you going on?
Yeah.
It'd just be like, do the selling.
I'll just do 1 hour of just like acting different celebrations.
You should, as a laugh, go into public. I can even help you if you needed it. And you know the machines where you put a coin in and it does like a little dance?
Oh God.
We should put like a coin in and then anyone in the public puts a coin in and you just do like a random selly, like
in slow motion, like it's just like 8 hours I've been there.
Literally, I think it'd be so funny, like, and then I think a crowd would form.
I reckon, yeah. Could even do it outside like a 40 grand or something.
It'd be so good. Have you ever seen that content where Ed Sheeran, where they're like, do you want to see live Ed Sheeran? I'm like, what? I'll pay $10. They pay $10 and Ed Sheeran comes out with a guitar. We should do it with you.
I didn't even know that. What, Ed Sheeran does that?
He's done the content. Haven't you ever seen it?
No.
It's so good. Like they come in and like the curtain unveils and Ed Sheeran just like...
Can I Ipswich fans for you there, innit?
But yeah, it's really funny. What's next for Karl? Like what does Karl want to achieve? Like,
well, I think obviously I've got Karl and Friends coming up. I think a big goal is to get a tour going, maybe like a 30-date first kind of.
Is that a full month or is that spread out?
It'll kind of like split out. I think it won't be like every day for a month. They'll kind of say like, you know, you're in like Dublin Thursday, Friday, and then like the next Saturday, Sunday, you're in London, and like they kind of balance. I think that's how it works anyway.
Are you nervous?
Nervous, but like in a good way.
Excited?
Like, yeah, buzzing. Like I feel like it is. Like, you know, if I could, like, for example, like if I could sell out the Frog and Bucket, do my own show, it'd be a dream. Because like that's where it all started.
How many capacities the Frog and Bucket?
I think it's like between 250.
250 people.
Yeah.
And then what's the biggest room in hot water?
I think it's like 590.
Is it?
The new one, yeah, Blackstock.
590.
Yeah, I've done that
people?
room before.
Have you?
Done like on the bill.
590 full?
I think it was
like close to it.
Yeah, I think so, and it was mega. Like because the room's like this. Like it's not
and
like a.
Are they not paying to come see you? They're paying to come to see like just a natural show, and you're on that show.
Yeah, it'd be like a triple headliner or something.
Okay.
And they'll have like, you know, people like mention like Jamie Hutchinson, Adam Rowe,
and
Rob
Smith
Thomas, Paul Smith's like just touring all over the world.
Yeah, but he comes back, doesn't he, to hot water?
Oh, does he?
I think he.
I
remember coming to a hot water show and he was emceeing.
Oh, was it? I feel like he's just on tour all the time. I just kind of feel like he's just busy in it because he's doing all the.
Been to Australia and everything.
Yeah, it's mega.
For a comedian,
that's the dream there.
Even me, and I'm not a comedian, I'm like, that's well done.
No, amazing.
Do you look at that and go like, one day?
100%. Because I always said when I got into comedy, someone was like, "What's the dream?" And I said, "Sell out the MEN." People laugh, but I was like, "That's the dream." You know what I mean?
No, I won't laugh at you.
No. As soon as I get off, as soon as I leave, like, yeah, seen a bit, Karl. Mug him, innit?
I'll be like that.
Yeah. Get him. Why he's not coming back? Why has he took the mug?
This one question is very interesting because I do a lot of social media, you do social media, but you also do crowds. Do you feel more successful when a video goes viral or when you sell out a full room?
Oh, that's difficult, that. Because it is like two different things, isn't it? Like you're putting something online and seeing it just like, you know, like the video, like boom, boom, like getting millions of like views and stuff. But I don't think there's any better feeling than going on stage, smashing a room, knowing that you've wrote that stuff and people coming up to you afterwards going, mate, that's sick. Like in
Proper
the moment,
human interaction.
And it's just that feeling when you're on stage and you're like doing a 20-minute set and you're 5 minutes in and you know, where you've got them in the palm of your hand, nothing you can say is going to go wrong. Like those sort of gigs.
That feeling in your stomach.
It's literally like I'm
the Don.
Yeah, literally like I am
Karl Porter.
Going out and see my wife after it, you know. She's like, I don't come anymore. But do you know what I mean? It's just like that feeling of people going, oh, mate. Like, you know, so in the moment, yeah, I'd definitely say stand up.
In the moment when the people are coming up to you and like, thank you so much. You've made me
that's
laugh
it. Like,
I haven't laughed in years.
I've had a sick night and like
I went to your show last year and it was awful.
I was the guy who said, can't do these shit. You know what I mean?
I was like the one, good, you bears left. Good. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Brother, today's been such a blessing speaking to you.
Oh, mate.
In terms of the last thing I want to touch on is you haven't done it in a year, so I don't expect you to do it, but could you do it?
What's that?
The goal celebration. Could you do one slow-mo? We can position the cameras different and do one. And I'll just stand there behind you and watch you.
Okay.
Just to make the clip like, just so it's not just you doing it.
I'm trying to think what to do. I'm trying to think if I can...
Mbappe?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do that. I'll tell you this funny story. So I went to Edinburgh Fringe Festival last year and we were at a party afterwards and a guy approached me and he was from France and he was like, oh mate, you know, you're the guy who did the celebration. And then he said to me, my mate, he went, the funniest thing is about your celebration is he goes, I go to clowning school in France and I pay £15,000 to £20,000 a year, which all of them do. I said, oh, okay. And he said, one day when your video went viral, our teacher came in, pulled his projector down, he got your clip in front of the class and he said, this is where you need to be.
Oh my.
And that was the maddest story where, and I was like, I'm just in an attic in Blackpool, flat, just like going, you know what I mean? Waking up in the morning.
That's how you know you've got something naturally, like a natural talent.
So I was just like...
You could, how about going to clowning school and just charging people?
Yeah, just doing all that, yeah.
This is how you do it.
Yeah, and they're just going...
Okay, after that amazing slow-mo, thank you, I'm so grateful you did it.
No worries, man.
Shout out where people can find you, the show's coming up, whatever it is you want to do.
Karl Porter Comedy on socials, Instagram, TikTok. Up and coming shows. I've actually got 2 shows coming up in May, 21st, 22nd. Karl Porter and Friends. They are at the Stand Comedy Clubs in Glasgow and Edinburgh. Like I said, you can find it on my socials. Ticket links in the bio. So hopefully see you there and we'll get more going on the go and keep you posted. So
maybe do a slow-mo. Maybe, if you're lucky enough. You might bring it out once in the tour.
Could even be any celebration or even a different sport.
It might even be on you in the crowd. Yeah. And then Jamie Hutchinson comes out and sits next to you, a whole show, and he's just like...
Barbers. I was like, yes, Jamie's here.
Thank you so much, my brother, for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Legend.